Hello, this is the TVWAN Midday News. Prime Minister James Marape has congratulated Kina Bank for reaching its 40th year of operation in Papua New Guinea. Speaking at Kina Bank's event on Tuesday night, Prime Minister Marape said he was pleased to commemorate the bank's milestone achievement. He used the opportunity to also call on the bank to look into tailoring its products to meet the growing SME and the Papua New Guinean middle class, and to focus on manufacturing and export-driven initiatives for producers in Papua New Guinea. Prime Minister Marape said over the course of the 40 years, Kina Bank has formed part of the transition that has taken place in the country. He said PNG will soon become a fully fledged member of ASEAN, and Kina Bank is in the right country in terms of trade, commerce and business. The National Capital District Provincial Health Authority has received a generous donation of building paints valued at 120,000 kina from DC Commodities Limited. This contribution is part of the company's commitment to support the improvement of healthcare infrastructure within the National Capital District. The donated paints will be used to enhance the physical appearance and working environment of healthcare facilities, creating a more welcoming and supportive space for both patients and medical staff. Every year on May 21st, Papua New Guinea joins the global conservation community to celebrate World Tree Kangaroo Day, a day dedicated to protecting one of the country's most iconic and endangered animals. Port Moresby Nature Park came alive yesterday as Papua New Guinea marked World Tree Kangaroo Day, celebrating the nation's unique marsupials and highlighting urgent conservation efforts to protect them.
World Tree Kangaroo Day happens every year on the 21st of May, thanks to the Papua New Guinean government who recognised the day. Today was really exciting. We had a gender reveal of our new baby tree kangaroo, who's a boy, and we're so excited that successful breeding of the new baby was a reflection on all the hard work of the staff and also our sponsors and conservationists who are involved in the park. I also want to thank Governor Powis Pakov, Minister Justin Chichenko as well, who really drove through the agenda of getting the tree kangaroos recognised and the World Tree Kangaroo Day recognised as well, and allow that support of the park.
At the heart of this celebration was the Port Moresby Nature Park, home to several species of tree kangaroos, including the Goodfellows and Dorias, both found only in Papua New Guinea. Special guests included U.S. Ambassador Anne-Marie Yastishok, Acting Indian High Commissioner Ravindranath, and Dr. Lisa DeBeck, a longtime partner in PNG's tree kangaroo conservation through her work with the Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle. A major highlight was the unveiling of a striking photo portrait of the Doria's tree kangaroo by the National Geographic photographer Joel Sator. The image will be auctioned at the park's upcoming charity gala to raise funds for ongoing conservation work.
Animals, for everybody's information as well, wild animals in Papua New Guinea are illegal to trade, and they're also illegal to keep as pets. So here at the park, all our tree kangaroos that are part of the breeding programme are rescue animals. Where we go, we rescue them and bring them back to the park as well. So it's been a fantastic day. Everybody's going about to look at the tree kangaroos. We have some guests from international over here in Papua New Guinea, who one of them, Dr. Lisa, has been 30 years coming to PNG and working with the tree kangaroos up in the Huon province, up in Morobe. And what a fantastic programme, working with all the landowners and all the villagers up there too, so it's been fantastic.
In exciting news, the park also announced the successful breeding of a new tree kangaroo, Joey. With a colorful gender reveal, the team introduced the young marsupial to the public and launched a community naming competition via social media. The park employees also hosted a guided tour of the park's tree kangaroo enclosures, offering the public an inside look into their care and natural behaviors. As the day ended on another World Tree Kangaroo Day, the message was clear. To save these unique animals, everyone must play a part. Port Moresby Nature Park remains committed to protecting not just the species, but the future of PNG's rainforest ecosystems. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News. Around 100 flood warnings are in place, many at emergency level. Almost 50,000 people are isolated and relying on the emergency services for help.
This mother and son had been trapped in their home for 3 days. With the water levels still rising, they decided it was time to leave.
The whole bottom house, like my room and everything in the bathroom is just full of water.
Right across the Hunter, roads are closed and river levels are on the rise. Further north at Woolgoolga, this couple's trip around Australia hit an unexpected roadblock.
We just came from Byron and it was lovely and sunny there, and then just got as far as down here and just heaven's open really.
They're on their way to Sydney, but found the road ahead closed due to flooding.
We're just looking up there now, trying to kind of plan a route, which is the best way to get down.
Yeah.
So we're just worried that we get stuck somewhere really is the main thing, but we're just trying to see what's the best way.
Massage therapist Colin Rossi is also trying to get to Sydney, but with no way through, he's turning round and heading home.
I'm cancelling all my clients, putting them on to next week if I can get the clinic next week, and then heading back home while I still can.
From Evans Head all the way down the coast of Foster, the weather was wreaking havoc.
Disastrous, really, flood scenario unfolding through parts of the mid-north coast.
There was a nervous wait at Raymond Terrace in the Hunter as the Hunter River kept on rising.
Last time was about 5 years ago, and this one worse.
Are you worried at all?
No, not quite worryful. It's gods.
Residents here have had a welcome reprieve with very little rain this afternoon, but no one is breathing a sigh of relief just yet, and their thoughts are with those suffering the worst of it further north. This family camping supplies business on the Hastings River at Port Macquarie was underwater, with all hands on deck to shift what they could to higher ground.
Just packing up all the bait fridges, just moving all the cooking stuff, moving all the boats, make sure they're safe.
And a warning, it's not over yet.
We are not out of the woods. Unfortunately, we're expecting heavy rainfall, potentially isolated rainfall of up to 200 mils in the next 24 hours, having had 200 mils yesterday and 150 mils the day before.
By Friday, the rain should be moving inland, but the rivers will keep rising into the weekend.
Dozens of members of the Superannuation Fund HESTA say they've been caught unawares and are unable to access their super assets. HESTA, one of Australia's largest super funds, is in the middle of a planned outage lasting for 7 weeks. Despite the fund alerting members in February, some say they didn't receive the message and are now suffering financially.
Annette Mumford is transitioning to retirement, and she says she hasn't been able to access her money because of an outage at her super fund.
I was so distressed thinking, oh my gosh, because there's no time for planning because it had already closed down without me knowing in advance.
HESTA says it notified customers back in February about the planned outage, sending nearly 1 million members an email as well as 87,000 letters. A spokesperson said, where emails bounced, we followed up by sending the significant event notice via post.
Really, they should be making the effort to call people and let them know that they're going to be subject to this period of time where they won't be able to access their money and what they can do to mitigate against any harm that might cause.
The HESTA spokesperson admitted there are temporary disruptions to some services, but members can still receive urgent and critical payments and switch investments.
When I first reported on the super outage last month, dozens of people wrote into the ABC, distressed they couldn't tap into their super. When I spoke to HESTA, the super fund insisted that I provide the names and contact details for these individuals so the super fund can escalate the claims.
Super funds shouldn't be outsourcing their customer service to media outlets or to consumer organisations. They should be dealing with this problem themselves.
Daniela Patey's client was in the process of pulling money from his super to buy a property and almost lost his deposit. She lodged a complaint and enlisted a financial insider to help escalate his claim, which has now been paid, but not without a significant toll.
Because of this upgrade, he's been caught out and he's now having to deal with the emotional and financial burden.
A burden many HESTA members are still facing.
The invasive plant pathogen Myrtle rust has been detected at the National Museum of Australia in Canberra. Myrtle rust is a bright yellow-looking fungus originally from South America, infecting plants in the eucalypt family with sometimes devastating effect. The infected plants have been removed, and the ACT Environment, Planning and Sustainable Development Directorate, or EPSDD, says follow-up surveillance on the infection will be conducted again in spring.
It's vibrant but fatal. Myrtle rust first appears as specks of golden dust on the leaves of a plant.
If it's really severe, it can look like a yellow powder.
Then a slow death ensues for infected native species.
It basically steals the resources, like it competes with the food of the tree and then eats basically the tree alive.
In February, a citizen scientist made the discovery of 2 infected Geraldton wax plants near the National Museum. The plants were tested, and last month the ACT government worked with the museum to remove and destroy them. These specimens, which are native to Western Australia, are particularly vulnerable to the fungus.
There's been genetic testing done that found that there were visits made to every single stand of wild Geraldton wax. None of them showed any genetic resistance to myrtle rust.
While Canberra's cold weather kills off the infection, climate change could make it challenging in the future.
Changing climatic conditions, there is a risk with milder winters that it could actually stay the whole winter and then have continuous infections and be properly established, and the tree is infected the whole season.
Bushfires can also cause the fungus to thrive.
If you have a bushfire, and you cause more fires under climate change, when you get that flush of new growth after a bushfire, myrtle rust loves that.
Experts say more biosecurity measures are needed to prevent the risk of further strains coming to Australia.
We in the Invasive Species Council are not confident they're doing everything they can to keep out myrtle rust strains, and so we're just concerned that biosecurity budget and focus on myrtle rust is not adequate.
The ACT government will continue monitoring and inspecting the grounds of the National Museum over the coming months.
And finally, Utmei Secondary School in East New Britain Province emerged as the top contender in the East New Britain cross-country event, ending the first week of the inter-school athletics on Wednesday. 10 schools took the scenic route, stretching from Kokopo Secondary School to the Takubar Sports Ground athletics field. Utmei Secondary emerged victorious, claiming the gold medal, and Kokopo Secondary School demonstrated strong teamwork, securing the second-place position while showcasing their competitive spirit. Utmei's exceptional speed highlighted their formidable presence in this year's carnival. With the cross-country event successfully concluded, all eyes are now turned to the main inter-school athletics carnival, scheduled to take place from Monday, May 27th to Wednesday, May 29th. That ends the Midday News. Do join us at 6 for more.